I grew up in a blue collar household. My mom, she she worked, and my dad worked, and they're, I mean, I wouldn't maybe call them maybe middle class, but we had a house and we had an arena, but we weren't in an area where it was just a real opportunistic spot. It rained 8 to 9 months out of the year, and so we'd rope in buildings all spring, all fall, winter, and spring, and rope them old junked out, roped out barn cattle, all season long and stuff, and get to rope twice a week from I think 7 to maybe 10, and limited places to go rope because you'd have to try to find an indoor because it was too wet, and so. But you just loved it. I loved every minute of it. And then my dad started a club up there, so we got to rope a couple nights a week. And then he wasn't one bit scared to, if no one was there, we just rope and rope and rope. And they would shut the lights off at midnight, and but if we got there and there wasn't very many people there, I got to practice a lot that night. But he was good about getting me out of there too, and taking me to places. And he was good friends with Mike Beers, and Mike was the guy up there at the time, and Mike was really good about giving me jobs. So if I wanted to take care of his horse all summer while he flew in and flew out, ride him and clean his stalls and do things like that, he would let me go to a school that he would have every spring there in Rufus, Oregon. And whoever he was roping with, that's how I got to go to the school. So I got to rope with Matt Tyler, Kevin Stewart, D. Pickett, and I think Rusty Wright was there one time, and some guys that headed at the time were one of the guys, and those were opportunities that I got to do, and then I always had a few young horses and stuff like that I would always ride. That's how I made money in high school, and that's how I made horses. I think we only bought one horse. The rest of them we made, and so we've had some shitters around there, some junk, but we've had some good ones too. I also had to learn how to head off heel horses. So that's my dad heeled. So we had a lot of horses that people didn't want that gave to us. They weren't no good, and just made them work. And so we'd always have enough horses. So when Mike Beers would have schools, he'd call me, and like when I turned 16 and was able to drive, he would let me come head at all the schools, and I'd get to turn steers for guys all day, and it was a great opportunity. Like I said, if you want it bad enough and you try hard enough, you will find opportunities. There's opportunities out there for everybody. But if you ain't looking and you don't want to work, they're going to pass you by. And one opportunity would lead to another, and one opportunity would lead to another, and I can go on down the line all the way to the time that I met Tyler Magnus. And when I met him, I was broke, but I knew how to shoe and I knew how to ride horses. And that got me to Tyler's house, and that got me to where I could rope all day, shoe in the evenings when it got dark, and I could make money. He would start hauling me around to ropings, and I didn't have the money, so he'd pay my fees, and we split what we won. And I was loving it, man. We got horses to ride, ropings to go to, and I was able to get in the rig with one of the best heelers and best horsemen at the time, and learn how to win. And like I say, a guy can say what you want, but if you're able to get in front of those people, and if you have a skill set that is something that they can benefit from. I was not one bit scared to go and work, and if I didn't get paid to work for knowledge, it didn't bother me. And like I told you, if there's a kid that wants to come to Stephenville, Texas, and wants to learn how to ride or rope or do something, and they thought, what you do is one of my weaknesses. Maybe he doesn't score very good. I think I score pretty good. And he'd say, man, if there's any way I could saddle up and warm up or something for a half a day, and if that would help you out for an hour a day to help me out, I would say absolutely. And we would, that's what I'm saying. You can't tell me that there's not enough people out there that you couldn't put in a half day's work to help that guy out, to where you could get an extra hour in and get some reps in with somebody that's really good. There's opportunity everywhere, especially down here,